Hello everyone, welcome to Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 17th episode of Dino Supercharge, Freaky Fightday. And this was not a bad episode at all. We start off on a prison ship and they have Snide in chains. But when Arcanon's about to destroy him, says, "Wait, separate me from Heckle." The Rangers left their separator from Xenowing back in the woods. And he says if he'll do that, he'll destroy Heckle for him along with the Rangers. Because he has a plan to switch their bodies with another monster. And he has the sports monster from Home Run Coda and some Professor One back them up. And of course he agrees, and that tentacle we saw in the last season attacking from the cell, it wasn't Heckle, it was Snide. It was coming out of his chest. But we actually don't see Snide fight here, it's just our monsters. And what's special of this one is that it swaps the bodies like Poisandra did a few episodes ago. And he even references this, as she failed to swap the bodies of the Rangers. So as soon as they go in the battle with the Rangers, they all get the bodies swapped. Tyler with Shelby, of course, Chase and Coda, and Ivan and Riley. With Ivan and Riley, they still fight and send them back because they know how to fight using a sword without any special abilities, which gives them a bit of an edge in combat like this. But for the other Rangers, they can't really function. I mean, Shelby can't fit into her clothes in Tyler's body. Tyler's look of style in Shelby is awkward. And Chase has to tell Coda to stop putting all that junk food in his body now. So yeah, just little jokes like that. But when they rematched, they got used to their bodies, and Xenowing's there to help out. But then their bodies get swapped up again, but this time they figure out, well, we can just swap out our weapons for the right ones and still fight back. So they do that and make quick work of the monster, and when destroying the weapon, they return to normal. At that point, the Megazord battle is just a formality, because they just used the Ultra Zord with the new Cannon Blast, and it's over instantly. It's only half the episode. The other half is really an Ivan episode. We haven't had a good part with him in a while. And what happened is that there's been a graffiti artist hitting the museum every Friday afternoon for the past few weeks. So the Rangers catch him and they find out. So they catch him and they find out he looks like Ivan, one of his descendants. Because his great-grandfather was a knight of Xandar. His name is Zach, and they cover it up by just saying that they're cousins, and they make him clean it up. And Ivan is just having a fun time just berating him, making fun of him while he's doing it. Now, given the situation, I might be a little cocky too. Now, Riley comes with a smoothie and gives it to Zach, not Ivan, to Ivan's amazement. So when Riley's the one watching him, he tells him a lesson that, yeah, it's not so nice when your things get messed up by paint. And the dude backs up and a bucket of paint actually lands on his clothes. So he kind of learns his lesson right there. But even when it's all said and done, Ivan's not satisfied. He takes him to the park to use normal paint on a canvas to teach him true art. And he uses some painting of a knight on a horse as a reference. So it's like, yeah, I get it. Maybe he can pose for me. And so Ivan, thinking he's done it, poses for him. And so after a while of painting, he's complete. And it's basically like a knight, but the horse is kind of metallic and almost motorcycle-like. It's pretty cool looking. But it's not the Ivan style, to which she points out it's a bunch of crap. And he ends up throwing it in the trash. Until they find it and they bring it to the base when the bodies are swapped. And Ivan's the only one that doesn't like it. All the other Rangers think it's good. And then Xenowing, who's there with Keeper, he pretty much says, it may not be what you're used to, but it don't mean it's crap. So having realized this, Ivan goes to see Zach, who's being a patron at the cafe after vandalizing it. But he's in Riley's body. And he basically explains the same thing. Like, Ivan is always used to strawberry milkshakes, and now he had a lime one. So he has to get used to it. It's like, yeah, okay. And that's really all that we see of him. He goes on his way. Until later when he and Ivan back in his body are having milkshakes again, and he is having a lime one for himself. And Ivan tries it, and before they can fully reconcile, he gets a brain freeze from it and starts freaking out, and everyone laughs at him, and that's the end of the episode. Overall, this is a pretty good episode. But one thing that didn't happen is Heiko was not destroyed, even though he got separated. Instead, he just got put back in his cell. For reasons why, I don't know. Maybe Arcanon had some plan for his execution. But this was a fun episode. We get to see Riley being mature again. And we have the funness of Ivan just being fucking Ivan. Because really, this side plot was more interesting than our monster issue of the day, I think. It's definitely a fun little episode. You'll enjoy it, definitely. I recommend it. I recommend almost every episode this season if you haven't noticed. Anyway, this is Jargus. Thanks for watching, and until next time, let the power protect you. Hopefully we'll see something happen with Heiko and Snide.